You are living in a movie right now where there's actually an infinite amount of movies that coexist simultaneously right now, and you can shift to a different movie at any time. And in this video, I'm going to explain this to you. That way you can learn to manifest yourself and fractionally shift into a new world where there's a different movie being played, because really, creation is finished. The future is finished. There's no difference between the future and the past. They both have already completed. Everything is already completed and created. So look at it this way. When you go and watch a movie, that movie is already completed. It's already been scripted. The actors have already been rehearsed. Everything is already written and completed. The movie is finished completely. But when you go into the theater to watch it, you start at the beginning and you slowly go to the end of the movie, and it finishes the same way. And that's how your life is playing out right now. Your life is already finished. You just started at the beginning and you're slowly passing through in the 3 dimensions of space. But your life in its completeness is in the 4th dimension and the 5th dimension. So you're slowly passing through it, but it is already completed. Your life is already completed. However, there is an infinite amount of parallel movies that coexist simultaneously. So you can shift at any point to a new movie that ends differently, but all of the movies are already completed and they've all ended differently. They've already been scripted and rehearsed and they're all finished. So you're passing through them in the 3 dimensions of space, but the movies, your life, is really in the 4th dimension and the 5th dimension, which is in its completeness. So for example, if I were to know you in the 4th dimension of space, I would have to be able to see you from the moment you were born till the moment you died, all at one time. I could see everything that happened in your entire life all in one moment. In one instant moment, I could see everything. And that's where the law of assumption comes in. And that's what Neville Goddard was talking about. Getting into the law of assumption, your inner dialogues. Feeling is the secret. If you find a feeling of yourself being someone different, then you have to shift to that movie that corresponds with that primary feeling state. So this is where it gets really fun and interesting, because at any moment in your life, in your movie, your current movie you're living in, you could decide, knowing this information, that you no longer like this movie that you're in. You want it to end differently. And you have that opportunity because there's an infinite amount of movies in the parallel realities that coexist simultaneously. And every single one of them ends differently with a different version of you. And your ability to be able to transfer to these different movies is your ability to have a well-focused, concentrated attention and being presently aware and slowing time down in the present moment with your attention focused on a feeling state, whether that is visualizing, whether that's affirming, whether that's scripting, whether that's asking yourself questions, whether that's using the not technique and detaching from the outcome, feeling as if you already have it, but focusing your attention on that feeling state and impressing the subconscious mind with this new version of you, this new concept, shifting your identity into this new world where that has to match up. It corresponds with a different version of you in a different movie. And you don't go to the movie comes to you, because everything is really inside of you. And you don't really have to go anywhere to get it. You're not seeking anything. It's being attracted to you. And that's really how this works. And a little shortcut to creating this transfer to this new world is asking yourself questions. Okay, so if I had this much money, or if I was in this relationship, or I had all of these things, who would I be? Like, who would I be, and what would be my primary feeling state throughout the day? Would it be fulfilled? Would it be happy? Would it be content? Would I feel relief? Would it feel natural for me to have all of these things? And keep asking yourself those questions and fractionally shift into that being where it has it. And another way you can do this is even counting $100 bills in your imagination, or whatever your native currency is. Actually counting the money in your imagination. Your eyes are closed or open, or whatever you can. The easiest way you you can visualize doing this, counting money. That's a new version of you. You're putting stacks of $100 bills. You have all of this money. You're seeing your bank balance change. And if you want to see it digitally, you can see the balance on your phone, on your PC, on your tablet. You keep replaying that. You keep seeing that in your mind. That's a different version of you. That's what shifts you. That's what's shifting that new movie to come to you. When you're visualizing yourself to be someone different, when you're affirming yourself to be someone different. And remember, not only is feeling the secret, but it's actually everything. Feeling is everything. When Neville Goddard said feeling is a secret, I think a lot of people overlook how important this is when you think about feeling. No one does anything, or no one would move at all without some sort of motivation to get some sort of feeling from it. Like someone wants a relationship, or they care about someone. They want a relationship with someone because the way that person makes them feel. They love someone because of the way that person makes them feel. They want riches. They want wealth because of the way that wealth will make them feel. Or they want a new physique because the way that physique will make them feel. Feeling is everything. It's not only the secret, but it is everything. No one would do anything if there wasn't a feeling attached to it. No one does anything unless there is a feeling involved with it. And another thing about shifting movies, okay, when you're shifting movies and you're changing your concept of yourself and you're imagining and you're visualizing, you're affirming yourself, there's so many different ways and things that can happen to you that will develop you into that person where you will shift to that movie, or that movie will shift to you. But there's no telling exactly what's going to happen in order for you to feel the naturalness of having that relationship, or having $100 million, or having that dream physique that you've always wanted. There's going to be things that are going to happen where you may feel a little bit uncomfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone. But you want to when you start impressing the subconscious mind, you really start getting involved with this and you want to shift. It's very important that you become a yes person. So when you have an opportunity come to you and a door opens and somebody asks you to do something, or you have a door opens where there's an opportunity, you need to say yes to that. You need to say yes to that. You need to be a yes person when you are impressing the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is going to send you things. There's going to be things that are people and things and situations that are going to come to you, and you need to be in that mindset of doing things that you wouldn't normally do in your past. The concept of self that you're now leaving and now you're transferring to the new concept of self, you need to do things differently now. You are not the old concept of yourself. So you need to do everything differently now. So when a door opens, you need to say, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. If you're going to create a YouTube channel, you have a phone. Turn the phone on, start talking to it, say, yes, I'm going to do this. I am going to create this business. I'm going to have $200,000 in sales. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to reach out to this person. I'm going to do this. You're going to do everything differently as you're transferring your concept of self. So when you ask yourself these questions, who is this new version of me, and who do I have to become to transfer to this new movie? This movie where things end differently. That's a new version of you. What does that version of you do? That version of you does everything right. It takes every opportunity that comes its way. It takes advantage of it. It strategically makes the best choices and walks through those doors and makes the best decisions on a very successful outcome. And also, as you're making this shift, you got to think to yourself, what do I do now in my current concept of self that I don't want to be doing with my new concept of self, or I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, so instant gratification. You watch TikTok shorts, all these different shorts. You're consuming all of this outside stimuli and entertainment, eating honey buns, sitting on the couch, for multiple hours a day when you could be working on a new business, or, focusing your attention on something that's productive, that's helping and providing value and service to the universe. You need to get away from all that stuff. Whatever you used to do, if you do all of that before, you got to stop. All of that has to end completely until you reach some goals, and then maybe you can do a little bit of that later. And the reason I say that about instant gratification, short content, and all this entertainment and different things like that, instant gratification, is because those things are stealing your power from you, okay? They're stealing the muscle of your mind, your ability to hold your attention on something for long periods of time that you're creating. is being stolen from you because they're creating that and you're watching that. So your attention is not having to do anything. So your mind's getting lazy because they created this. They focus their attention on creating something. So you're focused on that. So they're doing all the work for you. That's stealing your power. So you have to focus and become a creator and not a consumer, because that's what you're doing. You're just consuming this other information and you're not creating. You're not holding your attention. You're falling asleep essentially. You know, the more content that you consume and the more entertainment that you consume, you're becoming very sleepy. You're becoming more unconscious. You're falling asleep into the collective consciousness. But the opposite happens when you hold your attention on what you're focusing on, what you're creating. Now you're a creator. You're holding your attention on something for long periods of time, whether that's doing something in your own imagination or whether you're doing that in the simulation. But you're creating and defining and developing your concentration level and holding your attention on one thing. So that is developing you and waking you up and making you more conscious, okay? Then you're separating yourself from other people. Then you're growing, you're getting to that higher level. And then that's when you're moving to different movies that end differently. All right, everyone, I love you and I will see you in the next video.